I'm Patricia Anne Elford. I confess, I am a write and submit-aholic. I keep putting my ego and my heart out on the tracks just as we did with pennies, waiting for them to be flattened. My husband understands me. The coffee carafe is cracking on top of the coffee maker. The cat food tin is in the microwave. He knows she's writing. As an editor and a professional writer, I enjoy going to the email and the mailbox. Does that mean my work is always accepted? No. For example, long ago I sent in a poem. Back came my self-addressed envelope, and inside there was only one thing. This is it. Not the most encouraging thing for a neophyte writer to receive. Do I always win contests? No. Do I win often enough to be hooked? Yes. I have won awards locally, nationally, and internationally. And on request, I have read those winning pieces at the Festival Hall, at the Arts Festival, Victoria Rose Tea Room, at the National Library in Ottawa, at the Teachers' Conferences in Toronto, and at Write Canada's National Conference, where I also taught a workshop concerning use of the senses in writing. For publication, what do I write? I write opinion pieces, reviews, articles, promotions, columns, short stories for children, teens, and adults. Hymn lyrics, one of which was transferred into Braille. Sermons, worship services, meditations, memoirs, devotions. Some of those devotionals have been translated into Korean and Taiwanese, as well as other languages. Monologues, poems, mostly for adults, some for children. And I dabble in plays, fantasy, and mystery stories. Today, I have church materials for the church year into one publisher. I have different poems into the United States, the UK, and Canada. I have a monologue for an anthology, a New York City production into New York. I think in short arcs. Therefore, any full book manuscripts I have are collections. For example, The Cuddle of Cats. That is a story, a memoir book, and it has chapters for each cat that we have had and shared our home with. The present cats that we have are the two black ones in the lower corner, Licorice and Bagheera. Ember Saves the Night is a children's book and is not a collection. Patchwork is a collection of poetry called Patchwork because it deals with so many different themes. Sweet and Sour is a collection of poetry about life as lived and observed. So Sweet and Sour seemed appropriate. I'm trying to think of whether I should tell you about the other books or not now. I think I shall. The Scripture Lives, Share That Life, is a collection of monologues, dialogues, and drama for use in the church or in other groups. It has elements of humor in it as well as the serious. It is lively. Ember Saves the Night is a children's book, a picture book, which was originally written to help a student who was having trouble with IGHT, an English second language student originally from Russia. Reflection of God's Love is a collection of prayers and messages, tested messages. It is for about to be weds, newlyweds, and wed, not again. Those who are, I don't like to use remarried because it's not exactly right, but those who are taking another chance on marriage. Let's put it that way. So as you can see, most of those are collections. As you can see, pieces of my heart, my published works, are scattered in many places. They are in, as you can see, periodicals. These are some examples, sorry. These are some examples of places where they are found. They are in periodicals, most of them from the States. They are in newsletters, newspapers, literary journals, anthologies. For example, Christmas Maritimes has a true story in it from when we lived in St. Andrews, New Brunswick. And this one, The Wisdom of Old Souls, has two pieces in it that had to do with grandmothers and mothers. This one was a natural one. It had a story called Bowled Over, which was about a squirrel that we found in our toilet, alive. Don't ask me. I don't know how it got there. And this is from my editing work, but I just wanted to show you. This is a woman who's in her 90s, and she had mentioned having a book of poetry, or at least of having different poems from way back when. I asked her to send me the collection, looked at it, and thought, this is too good to just disappear. And she ended up having me edit it and had it published. The pictures are of her own actual writing papers, and the pens come from the same time. That is sold out. Now, where can you see my poems and other work? Here are some of the websites on which my writing appears. Bywords, which is most recent. It had a poem called, how do I not know my own poem? I forget. Look it up, please. And then, of course, I have two poems on the Pembroke Library site, one on the Utmost Christians. My blog is here, and I ask you not to look at it for a couple of days. I have to get back to it. If you want to see some actual excerpts from the book about cats, please go to this site at the Vancouver School of Theology magazine, and it's on pages 15 to 17, The Cuddle of Cats. Unexpected places where my work can be found. There's a fashion designer in Ottawa called Jana Hansel, and she chose Woman Seeing Red as a poem to have framed and put on the wall of her studio. She did a show recently where all of the dresses were red, and she just loved how it matched. Also, one of my poems was featured on tabletops at Vancouver, a Vancouver literary event. So you never know where you'll find it. I've been a member of different writers' groups in Pembroke and Petawawa. I belong to the Word Guild national organization. I would have to say for all of those groups, it is very helpful because you get feedback on your work. A writer may write originally in isolation, but you need more than one perspective on your work. I often go to the Write Canada conferences in Guelph in June, and as I may have mentioned, I taught a workshop there concerning census. I'm about to renew my Upper Valley Arts Council membership. Now, I've edited several books for local writers and writers aged 15 to 92, one of them being the one that I mentioned, people from Nova Scotia across to BC. Now, for a project that excites me. This is Grandmother's Necklace, a book that I edited and collated. It's about grandmothers, about being a grandmother, about age and intergenerational relationships. The contributors received not a penny. They even had to buy their own copy. Why? Because each cent earned goes to help the Stephen Lewis Foundation fight the wave of AIDS and HIV in Africa. The children and grandmothers raising orphan grandchildren suffer the most. Grandmother's Necklace is available in several Ottawa sites and Ottawa Valley sites. For example, the Prince Street bookstore across from the Giant Tiger in Pembroke. It's also available across Canada and the United States and has sold very well. The sites where it can be found are listed here. If you go there, you will find it does change periodically as we add new ones or others have sold out the market for the area. Now I have a final word of advice. If you see someone in a public place who's talking to himself or is scribbling or tapping a laptop or other device, be compassionate. Don't go to put a hand on him or her. Simply, mentally, wish him well and keep on walking. Thank you.